Beneath the dim glow of a 20th floor apartment in downtown Chicago, Jack Thompson, a 35-year-old chemical engineer, sat frozen on a grey leather sofa. Beyond the window, skyscrapers twinkled like artificial stars. But Jack's focus was glued to his phone. A text from an unknown number had just arrived, attached with 3 photos. Sarah, his wife of 7 years, kissing a stranger in the shadowed corner of a chic loop bar, their lips locked. Sarah's eyes dreamy. The images stabbed Jack's heart like a razor-sharp blade. He heard the click of the door. Sarah walked in her blonde hair shimmering under the chandelier, a Gucci purse swinging from her arm. She smiled, but it faded when she saw Jack's expression. "Sarah, how do you explain this?" Jack asked, his voice trembling as he held up the phone. The screen blazed with the first photo. Sarah paused, a flicker of panic crossing her face before she regained composure. "Where did you get those pictures?" she replied. Her tone edged with defiance, as if trying to turn the tables. "Does that matter? You cheated on me, Sarah." "Is this how you honor our vows?" Jack shouted, tossing the phone onto the glass coffee table. The clatter echoed in the silent room. A declaration of war. Sarah crossed her arms, stepping closer. "Jack, don't blow this out of proportion. It was just a kiss. Nothing more. We were in public, you can see that. It's not cheating." Her voice was firm, but Jack caught a hint of hesitation in her eyes. "Just a kiss," Jack scoffed, pulling a printed copy of the second photo from his pocket, clearer showing Sarah and the man in a more intimate embrace in a secluded corner. "What about this? Still just a kiss?" Sarah paled but held her ground. "You're making a big deal out of nothing, Jack. I don't want Ethan hearing us fight." She glanced toward the hallway where their 3-year-old son's bedroom door was closed. "Ethan's the only reason I haven't walked out already," Jack roared, clenching his fists to suppress his rage. He strode to the bookshelf, grabbing a framed wedding photo of them taken 7 years ago at Grant Park. "Remember this day? You promised fidelity. What now?" The argument stretched on with no apology, only circular excuses. Sarah insisted it was a silly moment that Jack was misinterpreting, but each word she spoke fueled the fire in Jack's chest. Unable to endure it, he stormed upstairs, yanked open the closet and threw clothes into a black suitcase. "What are you doing?" Sarah rushed after him. Her voice tinged with panic. She blocked the bedroom door, eyes wide. "I'm leaving, Sarah. I can't stay here with your lies," Jack said coldly, zipping the suitcase. He paused for a moment, glancing into Ethan's room where the boy slept soundly, clutching a teddy bear. Jack's heart tightened, but he couldn't stay. He dragged the suitcase downstairs, leaving Sarah standing there, hands covering her face. As the elevator doors closed, Jack heard her soft sobs echoing through the hallway. Chicago's night sprawled before him, cold and unfamiliar. Jack drove his Ford Mustang through Chicago's streets, neon signs reflecting off the windshield. The night wind carried the scent of the Chicago River and distant car horns. He pulled into a small motel on the outskirts, where a flickering Blue Moon Inn sign cast a weak blue glow. Inside the cramped room, the smell of stale coffee and the hum of an old air conditioner greeted him. Jack sat on the edge of the bed, pulling out his phone to stare at a family photo him. Sarah and Ethan beaming in Millennium Park last summer, the Cloud Gate sculpture glinting behind them. Now it all felt like a lie. He thought of Ethan, the boy with bright eyes and a smile that melted his heart. Jack couldn't lose his son. but the sting of betrayal made him question if Sarah was still the woman he loved. 7 years of marriage, late-night dinners, camping trips in Wisconsin, now overshadowed by Sarah in another man's arms. His phone buzzed, snapping him out of his thoughts. A text from Emma, Sarah's best friend Jack. "We need to talk. Meet us at the Capitol Grill. Saturday 7 p.m. For Ethan's sake." Jack frowned. He knew Emma from Sarah's company parties, back when she worked at a major customer service centre, before becoming a stay-at-home mum. Emma was always friendly, but something in the message's tone felt off, like she was hiding something. Jack scrolled through old emails and Sarah's social media, noticing she frequently mentioned a new group of friends, people he'd met briefly at parties but never connected with. One name kept popping up: Ryan Mitchell. A quick LinkedIn search revealed Ryan was a marketing director at Sarah's old company, married to a woman named Claire. His profile showed a tall man with a confident smile. Was he the one in the photos? Jack gripped his phone, resolved to uncover the truth. He replied to Emma's text, "I'll be there." But deep down he knew this wasn't a casual meeting. He opened his laptop, digging for more on Ryan and Sarah's friends. An old Instagram post from Emma showed them at a nightclub in River North, tagged with #LiveFree. Jack's brow furrowed. What did live free mean? He felt like he was about to step into a dangerous maze. That night, Jack lay on the motel's stiff mattress, staring at the stained ceiling. The steady rumble of trucks on the nearby highway filled the air, but sleep wouldn't come. Images of Sarah and the stranger replayed in his mind, interspersed with Ethan's smile. He whispered to himself, "I won't lose my son. Whatever it takes, I'll find the truth." Saturday night. Jack stepped into the Capitol Grill, an upscale restaurant in the Loop, where the aroma of grilled steak mingled with soft jazz. Dressed in a leather jacket and jeans, he tried to appear calm, but his heart pounded. A hostess led him to a private room where Sarah sat with 5 friends. Emma, a brown-haired man named Derek, 2 women, Jack vaguely recognized, and a stranger with sharp eyes. The air was thick with tension, like a string about to snap. "Jack, thanks for coming," Emma said, her voice syrupy but calculated. She wore a striking red dress, her smile masking unease. "I'm not here for small talk," Jack cut in, refusing a seat near Sarah and choosing one at the table's far end. He pulled a copy of the photo of Sarah kissing the stranger from his jacket, placing it on the polished mahogany. "I want his name. If no one's honest, we're done here." Silence fell. Sarah stared at her lap, hands clasped tightly. Emma glanced at the others, but no one spoke. Suddenly the unfamiliar woman stood, her short brown hair framing a determined face. "I'm Claire Mitchell. My husband Ryan is the man in the photo. And I think it's time we cleared things up." The room froze. Jack studied Claire, a poised woman in a black blazer, her voice steady but laced with anger. She wasn't Sarah's ally. She was a wild card. "Go on, Jack," said his tone wary. Claire revealed she'd suspected Ryan's infidelity for months, but hadn't known Sarah was involved until recently. She found texts between Ryan and Sarah, detailing secret meetups at Gold Coast hotels. "I'm not here to defend them," Claire said, shooting Sarah a look. "I want the truth, same as you." Sarah tried to interrupt, her voice shaky. "Claire, you're misunderstanding. It was just a silly moment, nothing serious." But Claire cut her off, her tone sharp as a blade. "Stop lying, Sarah. I have a video. Not just a kiss, but what you and Ryan did at the Peninsula Hotel." Jack's blood surged. He looked at Sarah, hoping for an explanation, but she only bowed her head, tears hitting the table. Emma tried to diffuse things. "Everyone, let's calm down. We can sort this out quietly." But Jack wasn't listening. He stood, leaving the photo behind. "Thanks for showing me who you really are," he said, his voice icy. He turned to Claire. "If you have evidence, send it to me." Claire nodded, her eyes resolute. As Jack left the restaurant, the cold Lake Michigan breeze chilled him. He knew he'd just entered a high-stakes game, and Claire might be an ally or a new threat. Back at the motel, Jack contacted Mike Callahan, a private detective and former Chicago cop. They met at a small Wicker Park coffee shop where Mike, with salt and pepper hair and razor-sharp eyes, listened intently. "Leave it to me, Thompson. If there's dirt, I'll dig it up," Mike said, sipping black coffee from a chipped mug. Over 2 weeks, Mike delivered staggering evidence Sarah met Ryan at River North bars and Gold Coast hotels. He also uncovered that Sarah's friend group, Emma Derrick, and 2 women, Lisa and Megan, held secretive parties at a Streeterville penthouse. Recordings from Emma's phone revealed they promoted an open lifestyle, viewing extramarital affairs as a way to strengthen marriages. In one clip, Sarah admitted she wanted to pull Jack in, but feared his rejection. With Mike's help, Jack installed hidden cameras and microphones in their apartment. The footage showed Sarah hosting meetings at home during Jack's business trips, discussing how to convince him. In one recording, Sarah told Emma, "If Jack won't budge, we'll make sure he has no choice." The words sent a chill down Jack's spine. But a shocking twist came when Claire emailed Jack attaching a video of Sarah and Ryan in a hotel room far beyond just a kiss. She wrote, "Jack, I'm not here to ruin your life. But Ryan and Sarah crossed a line. Use this to protect your son." Jack watched the video, his heart constricting. He called Claire, his voice taut. "Why are you helping me? What's in it for you?" "I want the truth, Jack," Claire replied. "Ryan's betrayed me for years. Sarah's just one of them. If we work together, we both get free." Jack agreed, but remained cautious. Claire might have her own agenda, and he didn't want to be a pawn. He handed the video to Mike, asking him to verify its authenticity. Mike confirmed it was real, but warned, "Watch out for Claire. She knows too much, and people like that usually have their own game." Jack nodded, feeling like he was walking a tightrope between skyscrapers. The truth was closer, but every step carried new risks. One Friday evening, Sarah called Jack, her voice unusually sweet. "Jack, come home. We need to talk for Ethan's sake." Jack agreed, but slipped Mike's recording device into his jacket pocket. Entering the apartment, he found Sarah's entire group, Emma Derrick, Lisa Megan, and shockingly Ryan, waiting in the living room. The chandelier's light cast tense shadows like a staged drama. "Jack, we want you to understand." Sarah began, perched on the sofa, hands clasped. "We're not doing anything wrong. This is how marriages stay strong, by giving both partners freedom." "Freedom," Jack sneered, keeping his distance. "Freedom for you to sleep with Ryan while I raise Ethan and pretend everything's fine." Ryan stood tall in a grey suit, his voice smooth as a salesman. "Jack, don't you see? We're living authentically. Sarah just wants you to join us so you can both be happy." Jack activated the recorder, playing a clip of Sarah and Emma, where Sarah admitted to plotting behind his back. "Happy. This is your idea of happiness. Sarah, deceiving me, scheming against me." The group froze. Sarah burst into tears, pleading. "Jack, you're misunderstanding. I just wanted us to be better." But Jack pressed on. He pulled out his phone, showing a screenshot from Claire's video. "I've got everything. Cameras, recordings, and what you and Ryan did at the peninsula. Claire knows Ryan, and she's not forgiving." Suddenly, Sarah lunged, snatching Jack's phone and smashing it on the hardwood floor, glass shards scattered. "You can't ruin everything, Jack. I did this for us," she screamed, tears streaming. Jack calmly picked up the broken pieces. "You just ruined yourself, Sarah," he said, knowing everything was backed up in Mike's cloud. Her desperate act showed she'd do anything to protect her group, even sacrifice Ethan. As Jack left, Derek followed his voice, menacing. "You're making a big mistake, Thompson. Keep this up, and Ethan will pay the price." Jack turned eyes cold. "Don't threaten me, Derek. I'll do whatever it takes to protect my son." Driving back to the motel, Jack's heart was heavy. Sarah had chosen her path, and now he had to fight, not just for himself, but for Ethan. Jack filed for divorce hiring Olivia Harper, a razor-sharp Chicago lawyer with an unbeatable reputation, in her loop office overlooking the Chicago River. Olivia reviewed Mike and Claire's evidence. "Jack, we've got a strong case," she said, tapping her pen. "But Sarah will fight dirty. Are you ready?" Sure enough. Sarah struck back, accusing Jack of domestic abuse. She provided detailed accounts of times he hit her, demanding full custody of Ethan and hefty alimony. Jack was stunned by her blatant lies, but Olivia reassured him. "We have the cameras. She can't win." Then came a curveball. Derek from Sarah's group testified he'd seen Jack threaten Sarah at a party. Olivia suspected bribery, but Derek's words rattled Jack. Losing. Ethan was his worst nightmare. The night before the trial, Claire texted Jack asking to meet at a cozy Lincoln Park cafe. Under warm golden lights, she handed him a USB. "This is from Ryan's computer," she said firmly. "It shows Sarah and Derek laughing about framing you. Use it, Jack, for Ethan." Jack clutched the USB, torn between gratitude and suspicion. "Why go this far, Claire? What do you want?" Claire gave a sad smile. "Ryan took my family. I don't want Ethan to lose his dad." Jack passed the USB to Olivia, who watched the video and grinned. "This is our silver bullet," she said, but she warned. "Sarah might have more tricks. Don't let emotions take over in court." Jack nodded, but inside he felt like he was standing on a cliff's edge. He spent the night staring at Ethan's photo, whispering, "I won't lose you," no matter what trial day arrived, and the Chicago courtroom felt stifling. Dark wood walls and packed benches made Jack feel caged. Sarah, in a pale blue dress, looked fragile as she testified about Jack's abuse, detailing dates and times with tears that moved the room. Derek backed her up, painting Jack as a violent, jealous man. Jack gripped the table, fighting his anger. Olivia, in a sleek black suit, stayed calm, scribbling notes. When her turn came, she called Mike Callahan to the stand, with a cop's confidence. Mike presented videos from the apartment cameras, showing Jack playing with Ethan, building Lego castles, or reading superhero stories during Sarah's alleged incidents. No violence, only love. Murmurs filled the room. Sarah bowed her head, but Olivia wasn't done. Olivia wasn't. She played Claire's video capturing Sarah and Derek joking about teaching Jack a lesson with fake testimony. "We'll make him lose." "Ethan," Sarah said coldly. Derek nodded, adding, "A few tears, and the judge will buy it." The courtroom erupted. Sarah sobbed not from pain, but from exposure. Olivia faced Judge Karen Ellison, a stern woman with silver hair. "Your Honor, the evidence proves Mrs. Wilson not only cheated but lied to steal my client's son." Then came a twist. Sarah stood shouting, "I did it all for Ethan. Jack never understood what I needed." She turned to Jack, tears streaming. "You want to destroy me, but I won't let you take my son. Judge." Ellison banged her gavel, demanding order. She fixed Sarah with a steely gaze. "Mrs. Wilson, you've perjured yourself a serious crime. I grant full custody of Ethan Thompson to Mr. Jack Thompson. You'll have visitation at his discretion." Olivia requested one final piece, a recording of Sarah admitting she sabotaged their marriage to protect her friends. The judge ordered the file sent to the DA for potential prosecution. Sarah collapsed into her seat, face ashen, while Jack quietly squeezed Olivia's hand, relief mixing with sorrow. Leaving the courtroom, Jack glanced at Sarah one last time. She sat alone, broken, but he felt no pity. She'd chosen her fate. 2 months later, Jack and Ethan moved to a cozy apartment in Evanston. Chicago's leafy suburb, tree-lined streets and green parks offered the peace Jack craved. The small apartment brimmed with warmth. Ethan's room packed with toys and superhero sketches. Each night Jack read to his son Spider-Man Harry Potter, watching Ethan drift off clutching his teddy bear. Their bond grew stronger, a lifeline through the storm. Jack thrived at the chemical lab, earning a promotion to production director for streamlining processes. Colleagues admired him not just for skill but for resilience. Yet Jack didn't rest on personal victory. With Olivia's help, he sent evidence of Ryan and Sarah's group to her former employer, a major Chicago financial firm. An internal probe followed. Ryan was fired for violating non-fraternization policies, his reputation in tatters. Emma and Derek fled the city, unable to face the fallout. Lisa and Megan cut ties with Sarah, leaving her to grapple with the consequences alone. Jack sought justice, not revenge for himself and Ethan. One crisp fall afternoon, Jack took Ethan to a nearby park. Golden leaves fell, and Ethan giggled, tossing a basketball into a plastic hoop. Jack received a letter from Sarah sent via her lawyer. She apologized, vowed to change and begged to be part of Ethan's life. "I know I was wrong, Jack, but I want to be there for our son," she wrote. Jack read it, smiled faintly, then tore it up. He didn't hate Sarah anymore, but she had no place in his heart. "Buddy, we're going to be just fine," he said, tossing the ball to Ethan. Then Claire appeared wearing a green sweater and holding another basketball. "Heard Ethan's a hoops fan," she said, smiling. Jack looked at her, sensing a spark of hope. Claire, now a single mum, was rebuilding her life. Post-Ryan, working for a non-profit, aiding women in crisis. They talked about Ethan Claire's daughter Mia and lessons in forgiveness. For the first time in months, Jack's heart felt light. When Ethan tugged Claire to play, Jack laughed a genuine laugh, the first in a year. Under Chicago's sunset, Jack walked with Ethan and Claire, shadows lifting. He'd reclaimed himself, and the future gleamed with promise, not just for him, but for the son he loved above all.